See, most agents, when they're trained in real estate, nobody's ever taught to think, what is your client's perception of you? What do they think of when they think of your name? See, most of us are too transactional. You know, every training I've ever been is like, okay, you need to make 100 calls and, you know, you need to get out there and do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, okay, at what point are we talking to human beings that have feelings and that, you know, when are we talking about building relationships? We're in the people business. We just happen to sell houses.
You know, I had a very unusual experience that led me to getting involved with technology, and I was selling a lot, and when I started my real estate company, and I was going for a while, all of a sudden you have to start thinking about how do I have value to the agents who come work at the company, and so I started looking at my own business, and I was noticing that I was getting a pretty good chunk of my business was referral. I was a big farming agent, and then the referral part would grow, you know, each year. And but then I noticed that the referrals were coming from a really small group of people, maybe like 10 or 12 people. Just a lot of referrals from a small group after having hundreds of clients. And when I first started in the business, everyone talked about, you know, eventually you'll get referrals, and that'll be good. You'll get referrals, and so all of a sudden, I realized one day the client never takes how to treat the broker class, you know, and I realized that they don't just automatically come to you.
No,
you know, some do. It's just like with my case, a small percentage, and that's the experience, I guess the aha moment that made me get into building the first CRM system in the real estate business. I said, you know, I did this back in the 80s. It cost me a fortune. But I said, this is the way I can have value, because what I learn now is you have to ask these people to help you out. If you're happy, make me happy.
Yeah, you don't get referrals you don't ask for.
How do you find you have to create this experience, and the experience is usually relative to something else. You know, you gave 2 different grocery stores as an example, this store relative to that one. In our business, you don't get people who come back so frequently, so sometimes they have an expectation perhaps of what the experience should be like because they haven't done it for 5, 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years. So you really, the wow experience has got to be something that surprises them, but at the same time, if they've never felt it before, how do they know it's above and beyond what the next guy might do?
You need to make that obvious. You need to make that obvious. I've even had customers tell me, okay, now you're just showing off. And I say, yeah, what do you think? I like it.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm having fun. You know, I show up to a showing, and I've got this, I don't have one in here I would show you, but I've got this little cooler that is just literally the perfect size for 6 Fiji waters.
Right.
You know, the square bottles.
Right.
And 6 of them fit in there real well, and I can just go in and get a cup of ice and dump it in there. And so I will come meet them, and the first thing I do when I come out is I got a big smile on my face, and I go, how would you like a Gucci water? And I get a reaction just like I got from you.
Right.
And that sets the tone. So I think it's just, you know, a lot of little things that add up to a big thing. Right. It's never one big event. It's a combination of a bunch of little ones.
I think the sense I'm getting from you is that, you know, you're getting in the head of your customer a lot.
Yes.
You're seeing the relationship with you through their eyes and trying to feel what they feel and say, how do I make this a good experience?
Yeah.
You know, it's a stressful transaction.
It is. And, you know, I've learned a lot from getting outside the real estate industry. You know, I like to learn lessons from people. How did they dominate their space?